celebration of the mural that was painted by our own Paul Collins. It's a night of celebration of having a distinguished guest, Dolores Huerta, in town.
She was born in New Mexico, that is part of the United States. 50 years of activism, taking on issues from environmental and economic justice to anti-war mobilization, to very recently the issue in Arizona of the House Bill 1070 that seeks to limit the rights of immigrants by subjecting them to unnecessary and stops by police and checking for immigration status. Dolores Huerta has also led by example, and her voice has been out there in the forefront of this, I guess, resistance to an anti-immigrant state of affairs. And so she leads by example. She is living proof that yes, it can be done, and sí se puede. So please join me in welcoming Dolores Huerta to Grand Rapids and to Michigan again.
I think it's such a great honor to have a great artist like Paul Collins commemorate us and memorialize us in this painting, having Cesar there, and including me, which I believe is an additional honor that usually doesn't happen. It's really quite fabulous. And the idea of, especially here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we have so many people that do farm work, and many of them are not really respected. And this is what Cesar Chavez's life was about. It was about, respecting the people that feed us, the people that are out there picking our food and growing our food, and understand that they're part of the United States fabric of society, because they do so much to contribute to our life and to our economy and everything else, and our values. So this is just a very wonderful, wonderful moment.
The Hispanic first came to this area 238 years ago. I'm talking Michigan. When a Spanish commander by the name of Eugenio Purre led 85 regular soldiers and 200 allies of the indigenous peoples of the Western Hemisphere. When we continue to hear the words Indian, or we hear the words Native Americans, those were names given by Europeans. But these indigenous peoples were in this hemisphere from the top of the north of this hemisphere all the way south. So it is best to keep remembering that, because these numbers are growing, and I think they will respect being identified properly.
The role that women play is so important. When I was on Martin Luther King Center's board with Coretta after he was killed, nobody would walk with her to lunch but me, because everybody was afraid she was going to get shot. But everybody forgets the role she played while he was in the street. That's why I wanted to make sure this young lady was in history where she's supposed to be. She's a great role model for other women. And this is behalf of Grand Rapids and how much we love you.
Thank you, Paul.
Right.
Thank you.
Trust me when I tell you something. Democracy is not a spectator sport. You have to be involved every day. And this mural did not come easy. And I want to thank people like Martin Morales, Mike Navarro, Jose, Levi, and my wife, and the history book Pancho Vega.
And I want to thank him so much for commemorating Cesar and the farm workers, and also for commemorating all of the other working people of our country, because unfortunately we do not respect working people who really create the wealth of our world. These are the people with their hands, whether they're farm workers or auto workers or construction workers or truck drivers, teachers, who are now under attack. These are the people that really sustain a democracy. And we have to remember them, we have to respect them, and not only them, but to respect their organizations, their labor organizations, their unions. So it's very, very timely that this painting is being commemorated at this time in our society, when we see that there are so many attacks against immigrants, against working people. So we want to thank Paul Collins and everyone that was responsible for this, because we know that many people worked to make this happen. They had the courage to stand up for our Latino community, for our farm workers, and we're very, very grateful to them.
he would have loved that mural. He would have loved it, and he would have loved that Dolores Huerta is in that mural.